So if you haven't read the book, don't watch this video because it will be spoilers and talking about everything in the book. But if you have, then stick around and let's chat about it. Today, I want to talk about the book called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. I just want to talk about how much that book has changed my life. I've always seen this book, but never ever took time to read this book. And so for the last, I would say almost 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, I had actually reached out to a friend to have some coffee, and we've been mutuals for a while online and decided to meet up for coffee in person. And within our conversation, the book was brought up, and she was just telling me how much it helped her and what a great tool it could be. So I was like, you know what? I've heard of this book. I've actually wanted to read this book, but just never had the time to do it. And so I took a chance and I went on my Spotify, got the ebook, listened to it, and my life has not been the same since, in all the best ways possible. I think what speaks to me so deeply about this book is that, number one, I love the way that she narrates it herself. So there's no other voice but Jen's, and you can really get across how herself as an author is trying to relay the message to you through the way that she enunciates her words and through the little laughs and just things that make someone their identity. You know what I mean? Like something that makes Jen, that is what she does by narrating this book through the ebook. So I think what opened up the most to me about Jen's book is that I've always had this feeling and intuition and manifesting in my life. And through every hardship that I go through, I always have that feeling of, things are going to get better, manifesting and all that. I just didn't know that there was a name to it. So I think reading Jen's book, that's one thing that stood out to me, is that now there's a name to the game. Now there's a name to the things that I've been doing all along. I have dabbled in manifestations and positive affirmations and, morning mantras and things like that. But I didn't know that there was a specific name for, manifesting and the universe and intuition and things like that. And so that's what I learned from the book, just like a first peek into the conversation. What I also realized from the book is that we really are the only person that makes a decision whether or not our life is lived to the fullest of our potential or to our dreams of our capacity. There is nothing in this world that is telling us that we cannot be who we want to be. There's nothing. There can be people saying it and whatever, but who truly has power? You. At the end of the day, you are the only one who has control over what you can and can't be. And I think that we've allowed people to have so much control over us. And I've experienced this as well. Because through reading her book, I realized that I've gone through so much crap. And I'm sure if you're here, you've probably been through something in your life, whether that be bad trauma, that has, or for me, abuse when I was younger. It's just like a never ending cycle of bad things happening to you, right? But we can't live in that mind state forever. And what I want to say is that if you're here, you've probably been through some hardships, okay? But those, and I truly believe this, those that choose to continue to power through their worst of the worst, down in the dumpster life situations, those are the people, we are the people that always come out on top, because we choose not to live in a state of negativity, of victim blaming, of, oh, poor old me. Those are, and I've always been the person that said, I don't want to be a victim. I am not a victim of my circumstances. I can change my circumstances. And just reading the book really confirmed that for me, that damn, I was right all along. I do have the power to change my circumstances. If I want to be a freaking astronaut, I can be a freaking astronaut. You know, if I want to continue to change careers 5-6 times, I can do that. As long as I believe that it's possible, I can do it. And it just felt so reassuring and good to hear that people also are going through the same thing. Just think about how many people have read Jen's book and have probably felt the exact same way that she felt. There was one thing she was talking about, a story about one of her clients that he had quit his full-time job, and he was trying to make it to be something, I forgot, but then he quit his job with no backup plan, and he didn't know if he was going to make it or not, because he had to support his family and his kids, and then his car broke down, and then like the water flooded the house or something like that, and it was just like crap storm after crap storm. But how you choose to deal with it, and this is the part that really hit me, is that how you choose to deal with bad stuff that comes in your life, whether that be like house situations, or like your car breaking down, or maybe the deal that you want doesn't go through, or you get fired from your job. Like, how you choose to process every situation that comes to you really determines the outcome, not only of your life, but how you attract other things that are coming to you in life. So if you have that happen to you, and you respond to it in such a negative way, the only thing that's going to happen is bad, crappy, negative things. And I've always been a believer in that even when things are going wrong, even when things are not going your direction the way that you envisioned, you have to believe that there is a good, that there is faith. And like, I'm telling you, this book has just changed my mindset to where even if something bad is happening, I can allow myself to be in that good space. And I have to be in that good space, because if I don't, I'm going to attract the bad, low energy things. And I don't want that. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. So you have to be what you want to attract. It literally is, guys, like, I literally feel like I'm screaming into because I'm telling you guys, my world has been rocked since reading this book. It's literally the law of attraction. What you put out there, you get back. It literally is the law of attraction, okay? Literally, it's science, the law of attraction. What you put out there, it will come back to you. Times 10, multiplied. So don't feel like there is even if you're hitting like bumps and like guys, oh my God, I hope that I'm not sounding crazy, but seriously, you have to have such a mental, strong mindset in order for you to become the person you want to be, or have that career you want to have. And everything that I've learned from this book has just helped me view my life in such different ways that makes me unstoppable. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm unstoppable. Anything that I want is mine. Anything that I dream up is possible. Anything that I want to get is attainable. And there's this chapter in the book where she talks about money, about writing a letter to money, especially if you're in a crappy financial situation, or if you want to make more of it, whatever, and talk to it like it's a person. Like, oh, I love you, but then I hate when you go blah, blah, blah. And I haven't done that yet, but I did like how she made it metaphorical, where she was like, it's not, once you write the letter and you look at it and you think about, it's not a person I'm talking to, it's money. It makes you think about things in a different way, where you're like, wait, why am I even thinking about it this way? Learning to unlearn everything that we grew up with. She says in the book about how you're not only unlearning what you grew up learning, but you're also trying to unlearn everything that your parents learned from their parents and generations before. And to me, as an immigrant, as a daughter of immigrants, that is powerful, because we now have the opportunity to heal while also creating new paths for our next generation. So my kids, their kids after that. You are the person that makes the stop in the fork in the road if you're going to allow these things to continue, or you're going to change that mindset and that thinking. And that to me is powerful. That to me says more of, now we have the opportunity to change who we are and change these mindsets of what we've been giving. Not to say they were bad, but just to shift them a little bit, to allow ourselves to have the freedom to dream, to allow ourselves the freedom to have the capability to become what we want to become. And I think that goes to say that I love that this is a free country, and that, my parents, allowed us to come here, and we came from a place of nothing to now we are in a place of, now we're in a place of being able to do whatever we want to do. That is a blessing. Of course, that is a blessing in of itself. But I think having the opportunity to say, hey, I am so proud of where I've come and where my parents have come, and paying honor to generations before us, and being able to shift. I don't know. It's just, you guys, like, growing up in poverty, and as parents that struggled paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, I don't want to be that. I don't want my kids to suffer, and I don't want my kids to think that the only way to live a life is a 9-to-5. I want them to have the freedom to choose to be whatever they want to be, to do what makes them happy, also making money, but then also, like, their happiness comes first, and being able to provide that foundation that you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be, as long as you put the work, the dedication, you really truly believe you can attain it, that anything you want is possible. There is limitless amounts of what you want to do, what you want to be. There is nothing in this world that can tell you you cannot be what you want to be. Nothing can stop you but yourself. What I've learned in this book is that you are the only thing in charge of what your world is. You think that there's limits to what you can do, who you can be, who you can talk to? There isn't. If there's an opportunity you want to do, the worst people can say is no. Talk to someone that's in the industry, email them, cold call them. The worst thing that can happen is people saying no. You've got to start believing in yourself. You've got to start putting yourself in situations where you can network and meet people, and really, like, there's a portion in her book where she talks about, if you have a talent or something that you're meant to do in this world and you're not doing it to your full capability and sharing it with the world, aren't you also doing a disservice to the world? Which I also believe is true, because we are all brought here to do something. You may not think that you're creative. You may not think that that side hustle or that idea or that career that you have is important. But if it's something that you're good at, if it's something that you're talented at, and you are not sharing or using your abilities to the full max and sharing it with the world, we want to see that part of you. We want to see it. Everybody wants to see that part of you. She talks a lot in the book about how there are people in your life that, you view you in such a special way, and you are the only thing that does not see yourself as that. Now, that is true, and that is paralyzing to hear, because me, for myself, I always want the best in people, and I always cheer them on. But whenever it comes to us, why is it so hard to do? And I've been thinking about this, and I think for me, the reason why it's hard for me to do that for myself is because I have a fear of what if I can make it. When it gets to that point where you're about to make it, I think what stops me is knowing that, okay, this might be it. Like I have paralysis that when I'm about to get to that, I start procrastinating. I start not doing what I'm supposed to do. I start giving myself excuses. I start just being lazy. And that is, I am my own destruction. Because what if I didn't do that when it came to, you know, making it big, or, you know, getting these deals that I've collabed, getting these deals that I've dreamed about. I really am my own self-destruction. It sucks sometimes, because when you realize that you are your worst enemy, you are the only person that is stopping yourself from becoming this great person, of having all the things you want. You really have to like hone in on, why do I keep doing this to myself? And what am I so afraid of? What am I so afraid of? Like, I just got the chills. What am I so afraid of? And to be honest, I'm afraid of what if it can happen. Does that sound stupid to say out loud? I don't know. But for me, I am scared of, what if it's possible that I can make it? Like, I'm getting chills right now. What if it's possible that I can make it? I think being in a comfort zone where you're just hustling and trying to make it, maybe that is my comfort zone. I'm scared of, what if I can make it? What if it is possible? Then what? Am I even ready for it? Will I be ready for it? If I get it, will I be able to process it? This book has taught me to be in the present, to appreciate what I have now in this moment, while also manifesting and living everything you want. Everything, like, you guys, like, everything you want. Like, I feel crazy saying that out loud. Everything you want is already existing. And that, I know she says that so many times in the book. Everything you want is already existing. If you want money, if you want a better car, I'm literally driving through a car dealership right now. If you want a bigger house, like, everything that you want, it already exists. It already exists. Now manifest and put yourself in that present moment that it's happening to you right now. Right now. You've got to put yourself in the situation and work towards, and that manifesto is real. Like, that manifesto, I read it every day, every night. It's a life that I am creating for myself. And that's a tool that I think has helped me so much, because it grounds me into becoming what I want to be. And it puts me in a scenario where I know that this life that I'm creating, it's for something. It's for the past version of me. It's for the future version of me. It's for the current version of me. Being in a calm headspace, meditating with the morning manifesto. Those are the two things that have helped me so much on this journey since reading You Are a Badass. And if it's nothing that you do in this whole book, she has so many great tools and tips and tricks. If it's nothing else that you do, I would say that the least that you can do for yourself is write your life manifesto and at least try to meditate. Like, those are the two things that I feel like are main takeaways from this book. If you don't do anything else, is the life manifesto and meditation every single day. Every single day. And just like how she says, tapping into the universe or the creator, the God, whatever you want to call it, it takes practice. It literally is like, you got to train that muscle. You have to train that muscle. And if you're not training it, you don't know how to tap into it. You've got to be able to put yourself in a vulnerable position, even though at first it might feel a little weird. It might feel a little weird. But I'm telling you guys, this thing works. Okay? Since I have started her book, I have been really giving it up. Like, giving it up. The gratitude. Things don't work out. Well, shoot. Yes, I'm stressed. But in this moment, I'm also grateful. Because if this didn't happen, I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z and realize X, Y, and Z and be in this position where I can take care of what I need to take care of. This book, I'm not even kidding you, has rocked my mindset is not the same as it was before I read this book. And it's allowed me to see life in a different view. It's also helped me calm my inner self and be less frantic. Before this, I feel like I was very frantic and all over the place and super anxious. But this book has helped me calm down, and this book has helped me center my inner thoughts and just be one with the universe. I'm not even kidding you guys. Like, everything that you want is already yours. I've always said this, like, everything that you want is already yours, but saved for you down the line until you are ready to grab it. That's true, but that's also not true, because it's already existing in the now. Not that it's in the future, like, it already is here. And if you have not read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, you need to do it. I love her. I love her book. And there's just so much to unpack. And it's a book that I'm reading over and over and over again because it is now my mantra. Like, she has allowed me to believe that anything I want is possible and attainable. And if it's not one thing you do your life manifesto and morning meditation. I'm telling you, those two things will change your life. Read the book, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And if you've read it, let's talk about it in the comments below. If you haven't read it, you need to pick it up right now. I'm telling you, it will change your life.